Stream. Just want to see how this goes. This is another option for me. See if I can get this thing going, and uses this another one of my guess another feature, another streaming services that I can use to do maybe some personal videos of just me putting stuff out there. Just wanted to test it out and see how it goes. Um, Sounds pretty. It looks pretty good. Um, Gonna test out some of these different things that we have going on here and see if okay, yeah, I'll need to pay for stuff. I'm not paying for that right now, right? No overlay. You need to pay for that too. Yeah, video clips. Gotta pay for that. Yeah, this is just I can do a lot of the stuff that I want to do actually in OBS anyway, so this probably works fine for me for what I want to do. Because in OBS I can for those who see it, see I can I can switch up my screens here and uh, add some stuff, I think, to the screen. Oops, where is this? That's that's not changing my screen. All right, sounds cool. I think let's see what else I have going on here. This test thing is out, so if you see this video, it's nothing. It's just me running a test to see how this new service works. Just trying to test it out and see different things here. So testing this out on YouTube and testing it out on Twitch just to see if it pushes out there. So this will be kind of where I will push some things out and see how they go. So if there's any comments in here, I should be able to push them out. So let's see. Let me take a look and see if I can go to this video. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let's put it up. Let's see. I should be able to watch it here. Oh, it says it's waiting for me to start it, even though I've gone live. Huh? Interesting. That's interesting. So it's gone live. It says it's doing something, but it doesn't seem to be pushing it out, which is fine, I guess. Can write some guess if I want. Some sources. Check my settings. All right. So I don't know what happens when I end this thing if it just stops. That's weird. That definitely knows I have a stream going, but it doesn't say it's streaming, which is interesting. I thought it would just come up. That's weird. Let's see. It says it's live stream, but it's not displaying. Huh, interesting. Why is it says it's live, but it doesn't show. Interesting. That's weird. So for the logo, it won't let me turn it off, huh? That's interesting. What's the little X there? It's almost as if it lets me. Nope, we have to use. Oh, okay. Nope. Okay, so this is kind of cool when I go to a big screen. I do like that. Is it? I can't tell if it's recording or not. Doesn't look like it. Hey, Steve. I'm just testing something out here. I'm glad that you can see it. I'm just trying out a different service to see if, when I do some other shows, because there are limitations on the amount of shows you can do on StreamYard. So if I start hitting those numbers, I want to have another option. So I'm testing this out. How you doing, Steve? If you can hear me, hopefully you can hear me. Checking to see if I can actually see this video on. Are you in Twitch? No, you're in. It's weird. I can't. It's weird as I cannot go into it myself. I'm surprised you see this. It's pretty interesting that you can see it. I don't know how you're able to see it because I can't. That's pretty cool. If you can. I thought I was being private. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I guess with the transfers and stuff, right? It's we're moving along. Hopefully, well, when we're a lot faster. I mean, I felt like we've got essentially our plan B picks or our secondary picks. I want to get our number one picks in. You know what I mean? Um, just doesn't seem like we're going to do that. So, or we're not doing that fast enough for my liking, anyways. So, don't know if you. It's weird that I cannot see. Sorry if I looking away. I've got two screens here. I'm trying to see if I can see what I see here on this thing. If I can see it also on the on YouTube, which I can. It says you're in YouTube, but that's weird because I cannot from YouTube see this video, even though it says it's there. It says it's private, which is weird. It says it's private, but you can see it, which is cool, I guess. Yeah, I can see. It says one person's waiting, which is interesting. So I don't know. I set it to go live. It's supposed to be live now, but I can't see anything. So hopefully you can hear me. Can I? I should be able. Oh, you know what? I can talk in here, can I? Let's see. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Like I said, I don't know I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay. RESTREAM. All right, so that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad it's okay, that's cool. Did you get a notification on YouTube that this was starting? Or did you get, it's weird that you got, because like I said, I wasn't checking, I was just testing it out, and I thought it says private in YouTube when I look at this particular stream. It says it's private, so I don't think anybody can see it. Yeah, yeah, cool. So tell me, what do you think about, I guess, the Macanos and Fabio Fabio Vieira? Are you happy with those guys so far, or think those are just like, for me, they're like, okay, but I need more. And those aren't really gonna, they're not changing the needle for me. That's interesting. You got the notification. Huh. I think, since I'm using a different service, well, it sounds like it must handle the notifications much better. So that's cool that you got a notification because I'll try this one, and when I do my own shows with just me, which I plan to try to push out some shows maybe by myself and with somebody else maybe because I don't think I can have that many guests on this service unless I pay for it. And right now I'm not paying for it. It's not no reason to pay for it. I don't have. Yeah, yeah, the big deals, definitely the big deals. I'm hoping we need to get those big deals in. I definitely would like to see what's happening there. It's kind of weird because it was streaming the chats, which is cool, but it's not showing the latest messages. I guess it takes a bit of time to come up there. So that's kind of cool. But I can see your messages as soon as they come in. So that's cool. Fabio Vieira sounds like a good pickup, based at least not based on the YouTube videos that I've seen. But I mean, he sounds, he looks good enough, and he look the way he's been playing anyway seems to be a lot that he can handle the Premier League a little bit better to me than Erdegaard. I know that's probably a slap in the face to Erdegaard, but I don't see him as somebody who's been playing where he's going to get knocked down. And that's kind of what's been happening with Erdegaard when he plays in the Premier League. It's a little bit tougher for him. I feel like that, and he gets taken out of the game. So what's weird is it says I have two people viewing the show, which is cool. Um, I'm trying to view the show myself, but this is weird. I can't see my own show. It says it's waiting for me to start it, which is weird because you can see it. Let's see. I'm gonna try it on a different browser here and see if maybe that's the reason why it's not coming up. So we'll try and see. I'll go into my oops, I'll go into all right. No, it says it's oh that's interesting. All right. Yeah, okay. That's kind of cool. You know what? I can see it from my what's interesting, I can see it from my I've in YouTube, I think I have two accounts, I guess, under my email account. So I can't see it on my main one that I use for viewing, but on the one that I use for actually pushing out shows, I can see it, which is pretty cool. Um, so that's pretty cool. All right, I'm showing the chat, and I don't. Oh, okay. If I turn this off, then the chat will go away, and then I'll go full screen. Okay, cool. I do like this having this here. So if I'm doing a show with multiple people in the chat, they can see me. Ah, so that's kind of cool. Oh, okay. 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 All right. So here we go. Let's see if this. All right. Okay. So cool. So you can see, huh, I can put a ticker there, and I guess I can put a title. Let's see. Let's see. Nice. All right. Cool. All right. So that's cool. So I can, yeah. So like I said, I'm testing this out. I'm glad you're here. Let's see what else you've said. Anything else? Yeah, I think he'll be fine because I've seen him. I saw in some of the videos him getting knocked down, which for me that's pretty cool. Look who's joined us. I see you there. Why not sentiment? I cannot say that name. I cannot say that name, but why not sentiment has joined us. Stephen joined us here. Hello. Yeah. Hey guys. Like I said, I was just testing this out to see. I didn't think anybody would notice, but I guess it's getting noticed, so that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I'll test it out. Yeah. You know me. I'll take him. I'll take him for now. I am Arsenal in, so if it's time for him to go, I'm good for that. Yeah. So this. Yeah. Why not? Welcome. Yeah. No. I'm starting. We'll see how this goes, but like I said, I like this. Ability to do the things that I'm doing here as far as this was pretty simple to set up, and I think I'm streaming this also on Twitch as we speak, so it's another avenue to get my word out there. It's kind of cool. Glad to see you two in here. Like I said, this is just a show. This is just a impromptu show, but I'll try and do this one regularly. It's got a different feel in terms of what I can see on the back end here, and we'll see how this works out. This will be a show with me, probably a quick show, not an hour plus show, because it'll just be me. I can see six people over here. Bargav has joined us as well. Oh, welcome, welcome, Bargav. Yeah, You know what? It's summertime, which means there's no difference for me except for it's warmer outside, as you know. That's it. I mean, the kids get to enjoy this, right? So my kids will be out of school come Wednesday is the last day, so that's good for them. But for me, it just means it's sunny out and I can walk. Yes, yeah, you can head out. Yeah, like I said, Steven, this was just I was gonna probably watch Mr. Ryan's show anyways, but I wanted to just test this out to see. But I'll probably be over there in a little bit as I test some more things out here and then get on. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Like I said, this wasn't scheduled, but I think now that I know how to start a show, it took me, I don't know, like 5 minutes to get to this point here. So that's, the other way I was doing it takes a lot more time. So this seems a lot more simpler to get a show out. I know, um, if you guys watched Canon Chatter, the Alex, he uses this service, and I can see it's a lot easier to use than what I've used in the StreamYard. Seems to be a little bit. There's a lot to it, but this was really simple to start up. Hey, Stefan, welcome, welcome. Doing good. How are you doing? Doing good. As we were talking there, I was talking about. I know this Fabio Vieira for me seems like. I mean, it seems like a really good pick. Hopefully he gives us the same kind of like Tamayasu vibes without the injury concerns. Because he it looks like he can do a job for us. We need more creativity in the middle there and more control of the ball in the middle of a mess, right? So I'm hoping he can do that for us because we can definitely do with something like that. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, let's see. I am like I said, uh-oh. That's cool. I'm gonna have to That's my mom calling. I'll chat with her in a second here because I'm in the middle of just doing this. But yeah, so like I said, I'm just testing something out. I want to see if I can change my back. See if I can change. Okay, yes, that's kind of cool. So I'm changing my backgrounds here just to see. Um, okay, that's weird. So yeah, I'm trying to change my backgrounds, and as you saw, something come up that wasn't what I thought I would see. So yeah, need to work on that. But this is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Uh, thanks, man. Yeah, my that's cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping this. Let's see, who is it? Jesus and Tielemans deal should they hopefully they get through. I don't understand the reason for going after Vieira if Jesus for me is the number one priority, and I don't think we're talking a lot of money difference between the two. So they should just get this thing done, right? I'd rather have our priority one players in because at least that means our starting 11 will be better. I don't think Vieira is at least right now a starter, at least based on the way I feel about the way we play. Unless he's going to push Xhaka to the bench, then I'm all for it. But I don't see Arteta doing that because he'll spend a little bit more time on players that he wants to start. It's kind of what it seems like. So I think Jesus and Tielemans would do that for me. I feel so. This is kind of cool. So I don't know if you guys. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm not sure how I can change that background. As you see, it's got like the stars and stuff, and I don't think I got to pay to change it. So it's just going to be the stars for now. As I always say, shoot for the stars and hit the moon, right? So if we can do that, I think we'll be all right. As a team. So yeah. So yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I am. Let's see. All right. So yeah. So I am. Boom. I don't know what that is. All right. Cool. Oh man. All right. So I'm just like I said, just trying something else out here. Let's see what this takes a little while, I think, for certain things to work here. So I don't know. Somebody just left me a chat. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, definitely. Why not? I mean, yeah. I don't. I mean, he could be plastic in a sense, but he looks like he can provide some creativity for us. But I mean, I really feel like you said we need somebody up top. Tony definitely does it. I think Gabriel Jesus will get us there as well. Not in the same middle of the pitch, middle of the box kind of dominance that we need, but he'll give us some more scoring, which is up what we definitely need. I've heard that workhorse. Yeah, he sounds good. I mean, I don't. Uh, I've always said, or that we need to stay to getting players out of England, and a team going down, got to be the perfect time to pull up one of their better players, right? They're probably looking to make a little bit of extra cash, a little bit of monies. Why not pull one of those players they've played in the league, so they're comfortable with it. They played probably under even more stress than they're gonna, more stress than not because they've gotten relegated. So why not pull some of those guys up. I mean, look at all the teams that went down last year. I mean, there's teams in Norwich you can pull out, right? And why not? No, I hear what you're saying. The Basuma thing is not a failure in my eyes. I feel I like to say they didn't want to take the risks, but they take risks all the time, right? So what's the point, right? They take risks all the time. So I don't get that. Oh, so here, oh, this is what it looks like. I changed my background and I didn't see it, but this is what so as new messages come in, this will pop up. So that's kind of cool. No, but I think Basuma was more. They didn't want to take. I believe they didn't want to take the risk, but I am not sure because I see them do weird things all the time. All right, they do all these weird things, and I'm like, well, why are you taking a risk there and not in the case where it's an extra money for a better player risk? So I don't know why they don't do that, but those players look good. Why not? But I think I think Arsenal would go in for Tony and have to spend more money than not because of just who we are. We always get taken when we go to the when we go to the when we go to the transfer table. Yeah. No, definitely. I think he's definitely seems like a backup, but I kind of feel like if he wants to take some minutes away from Erdogan or Milsofro, he can definitely do it. And I think actually I want that. I want a player to come in that I feel like can take it, and he can. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, definitely, definitely. It's got to have extra monies. So I mean, we're talking about all these players we're bringing in, but yet I have not heard or seen one player going out. Right? Why not? The players need to be. We need to have some players going out of here as well. For me, I don't even care if they get the best deal because I kind of feel like they won't because none of the players carry much. I mean, you see, Torreira goes out, does a job, and they still don't want to pay. Right? What's up with that? Goes out there, does a job. What is his player of the year or something like that for them, and they don't want to pay 10. The team just got what 70 mil for Vlahovic, and they don't want to pay 10 for a player of the year, a player that they need, a player that got them, playing well. Makes no sense, right? Makes no sense. What is this here? Yeah. See, I think, that's the problem for me right there is, I don't, what did I just do? Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of feel like, that's the thing for some reason. This is, Arsenal, I think, Arsenal would have taken it earlier, paid more, and then it looks like Burnley waited and got a deal. Arsenal, to me, right now doesn't have time for deals because they keep screwing things up and taking too long, anyways, and they never get the man they want. So we'll see. No, I hear you. Why not? I mean, I don't. We need backups or squad players or depth. We definitely need it, but I don't. So for me, even if they get him, that isn't a priority ones. Those are, likes to haves if it comes down to it. So for me, you do those deals and you're still gonna have to go out there and get your top players, right? So for me, I still feel like if Jesus and Tielemans, even Hickey or whoever else they thought was their priority ones, they just get them because I think they should. I think we need it. Uh, Like I said, I want to start. I want a starting. I want a strong starting 11. All right. Don't we want to start? I want a starting 11 that is better than what we had last season. And Jesus and Tielemans would do that. It'd be nice to sit some players down. Even if I'm okay if somebody comes in and pushes Martinelli or Saka to the bench, that just puts some more fire in their bellies that they want to come out and play better, right? So that's what we need as well. We need that competition, right? So let's see. I'm hoping that happens there. So let's see. I'm glad you guys are on here chatting away. Like I said, impromptu, kind of cool to be able to chat with you. Didn't think it was going to work as easy as it did. That's kind of cool that you saw it and came in. Um, like I said, I'm testing some stuff out here, so you'll see some things pop up and go away. Yeah, so that's kind of that's where we are there. Um, I kind of like the fact that I can change these, and I don't think I'm paying for this. So I'm just testing it out to see what's up. What does this say? I don't know what this one does. Just oh, okay, it's kind of cool. Some visuals behind the scene. So what do we got here? Let's see. You know what? That's true, but when he was 16, I don't think anybody thought of him as a backup. They saw him as a future good player. So, I hear you. I mean, he's got something there. Is it going to show? Are we going to see it all quickly? I don't. That's the problem. I don't. I think it's all about time. I just don't think we. I don't. As I always say, they want us to be patient. I don't want to because they've asked for our patience long enough, and now we just need to see results today. So yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, I hear you. I hear you. It is what it is, as they say, right? It is what it is. I can bide my time and see how this goes. They want it to go slow, and at some point, it's going to go too quick for them because at some point we are going to be in a position where either we have the best players and that we're going to get, and we're still not performing, and then people will then get, those who are on the boat with Arteta going to be jumping off. So, I'm Arsenal first. If Arteta's the man, make sure everybody else is better than the man because he's not there yet. You know, yeah. No, we definitely need depth. So I'm not going to say that because we just saw what happens when we don't have it. So I think we need it, but I think priority's got to be those starting players, those players that are going to push some of our players currently to the bench. Or bring up their quality and their performances going forward. Yeah. Now think about it. When for me, I always recall when we brought in Santa Cazzola, right? I don't recall him being a top, like a number one player for them when he came over. This little guy coming over. I believe I remember him coming over and like not didn't seem like a big name. Just seemed like, all right, he comes off the bench for Barcelona, and what are we going to get? And I believe we got, well, he got to actually show that he's got something there, and that's what happens when you come from these big clubs. Sometimes you get held back, right? Get held back. Ceballos, opposite end of the spectrum. you know, he's got something there because he went back and he's playing in these big games for them. So we brought him over to be one of our starters. I believe at least that's the way they used him, and immediately we found out he's not that good. And he made some silly moves for us. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, just him in the Europa games was just painful to watch, right? I mean, the man made some terrible, terrible mistakes, and I just don't. I think that's part of coaching, more man management. Uh, because when he doesn't do that when he goes back to Real Madrid, right? I don't think he makes those silly mistakes. He was making them consistently for Arsenal. I mean, getting into a row before games and stuff like that. I mean, come on. So I kind of felt like the environment isn't right for a player like that. It blew up in our face, and I think we lost those Europa League games because of him. Well, he contributed. Let's just say that he was one of the many things that went wrong. But I mean, I think that the red card that he got in there that didn't help us. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you on these two. If we don't get these two or comparable players, right? Then yeah, we didn't do anything. All we did is strengthen our bench. Who wants? I don't want to just strengthen a bench. I want to strengthen the starting 11, and then that in itself will push players to the bench. Will make it better since they did play for us. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen, I haven't seen Brownie do many shows. His work must be keeping him busy if that's what he does. I think he's working or something. So yeah, so no, I kind of feel like, yeah, puts out shows once in a while, but it is the summertime, right? So things start to slow down and people want to take a little bit of a break. So I kind of feel like that's also another thing, right? Um, I'm testing this out, guys, for those who are new here. So I didn't. It was a little impromptu show. I just wanted to push out. Not trying to compete with anybody else. Just wanted to test out this new platform that I'm on here. It's called RESTREAM. So as you can see in the top right corner here. But yeah, I think Brownie is around. I see him. I think once in a while he'll put out a show, but I think it's summertime and people are taking a break. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Football channel there. I don't know if I've signed up for your channel, but I definitely need to because I've seen you on the show multiple times and seen you on other shows. So thank you. And I'm gonna make a note to just go do that just in case. So I definitely enjoy the support you guys give me. I enjoy doing this. You wouldn't believe, but probably this time last year, I was thinking I wanted to go on and do this stuff and little shy about it. So I did a my first show was done in private, recorded and pushed it back out and it was good. So yeah, no, I am definitely enjoy getting out here and talking and I got a lot of things in my head that I want to push out. So glad people like to hear it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I enjoy Northside. Uh, that totally different delivery than me and most. He gets his word out there, and you know exactly where he feels. I actually have been on the show like when he first started. Not recently, just because of the timing. It's usually when I'm in the middle of work, so you might see me in the chats, but I'm kind of working. So I'll listen, and if I see something, you know piques my interest and I'll comment it on it. But usually I'm working because of the time difference. So if things work open up, then I'll try to jump in when he gives a chance for us. Yeah. Hey Ben, how you doing? Good having you on. Yeah. It's funny. I go through all this stuff with my Monday show, which actually I am having a Monday show tomorrow. So hopefully you'll come back to the channel. I think we'll have the usual. I'm not sure if Matt will join because it's summertime and he's got some work he's got to do. But I think Sam will be joining us tomorrow, and maybe Stan might join us. So if you're around for the late show, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll chat about whatever's going. Hopefully some stuff will happen by then. But you'll hear from them as well. Ben, how you doing? It was good being on the show with you on the Soup with Lolo. You guys, I enjoy the Sunday. For those who don't know, I'll jump on once in a while on the Friday show. You got football talk and then a trivia afterwards. We actually went through the first 5 games for a lot of the teams and chatted about that. So that was kind of cool. And then you have Mr. Tom who'll be on tomorrow. Mr. Tom's picks. So he gave us some picks as well. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I hope. You know what? If we get him and it's between him and, I guess Jesus, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. I would love to have him come on. Hey, Big Gunner, welcome to the show. As I was saying, it's funny. I'll go through all this work for my Monday show, put out, um, stuff, and it doesn't. I've got a lot of people. I've got like 9 people on here, which is sometimes what I get on my Monday show. So it's kind of cool. I know it's nighttime and it's the middle of the day, so it's easier. The one thing I'm going to do, I'm rambling here, but the one thing I want to do is I actually want to try to do a weekend show, probably at the end of, on a Saturday at the end of the games to have a chat because I think I can get to talk to a lot of you who are usually sleeping when I'm starting. So that might be cool. So maybe have some of you come on as well because I know it's interesting. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say, Ben? What are you talking about? Did I say something bad? Uh, uh, I didn't know about these 2 players, but I definitely Rafina would take. I guess I know the easy targets. All right, but definitely Rafina, I would take him. I definitely would take him. Yeah. No, no, I'll take Rafina. I kind of feel like he has that. For me, he has a little bit of an edge to him, and Arsenal needs somebody with that edge, right? We need that player that think that gives us that take, we're too nice a team right now, all right? We're too nice. So I kind of feel like he gives us a little bit of an edge to the way that we would play, and we definitely need that. No, definitely. Yeah, this kind of thing. Yeah. This, that when you hear that roar, you're talking about the roar, right? Something happens and something good just happened. I think, yeah. So yeah, I kind of feel like that's why I like him coming on. I think Jesus is for me, he's kind of got that city feel. It's our, whereas like Rafina's got that brute. He's gonna take a game over, and I could deal with that. I'll take it. I'll take him. I kind of feel like Arsenal just should just spend the money now and think about what's going on around KSC world. Right, the Rams just won a Super Bowl. The Avalanche, their hockey team is 2 games away from a Stanley Cup. I mean, the basketball team is always playing deep into the playoffs. I mean, the only team that's struggling is Arsenal, and all it takes is some cash, man. Because right now they've set themselves up as a club, set themselves up so far back from where they want to be that they're just going to have to throw money at it. So we'll see what's going on there. Your mom's smart, man. What happened? What happened, Ben? What happened? I do like, it's funny. I enjoy talking to the Leeds fans when I do, so I know it's got to be a lot of fun being a fan of them. And I don't know if you go to games, but it's got to be a lot of fun to do that as well. And to see your team kind of playing the championship and then make their way up, and hopefully they can stay there. Now it looks like you're doing a lot of moves. For me, with Arsenal was a little bit faster on their, the moves that they're bringing in. So yeah. No, you're right about this. You're right about this. Why not? I don't think a lot of these teams, I think it's when you're established as a club, you can make these changes. I don't know how much change they made since, Bielsa's left, if any. But I think a club, at least starting from the top and moving down a little bit, they probably are solidified there. They don't have to make 2 changes, whereas we've had to make all these changes from the top down, right? You eventually bring in KSC is or whatever his name is, Stanley and Josh as like the leaders over the last number of years, and now they're trying to establish something, realizing they suck at it, and hopefully they'll get the right people in there to do the job. So we'll see. Ours right now isn't so good, but it wasn't good, but I kind of feel like if you looked at our last window, if that was part of who we are, they did a good job to some degree. All those players will make sense, but I don't. Some of them just wasn't the right time, right? Hey, Mr. Tom. Yeah, no, as I said, this is just an impromptu show. So now I realize that if I do a show in the middle of the day, when you guys are awake, I can get some of my friends on with me to listen to me hear me chat. So like I said, my plan is to definitely do a Saturday show. Probably when right after the games or during the last game of the day, so I can to chat to a lot of you and bring on some other guests that I haven't been able to because of the time difference. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Mr. Tom. I was just telling him about tomorrow will be on, so I'll push that out. It won't be on this platform because I'm limited on the number of guests I can have, but eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to move over here as well and get more guests on. But I don't feel like I don't need to spend the money, and I don't think it's worth. I can get what I need to get done on the other one. So we'll see here. The assembled has joined us too. Hey there, everybody in the chat. Welcome. Hit the likes if you can. Remember to subscribe and share this with your friends. Like I said, this was impromptu. This wasn't planned. As you can see, it says test stream up there. So yeah, and yeah. I mean, my numbers are the numbers. As long as we have something to chat about, and if either I have something to say or you guys will have something you want to talk about. So I don't mind going either way. Yeah. So I like you, right? Why not? You want to call me out? I think all 6 were fine. They just weren't the right time. So Sambi and Tavaj, not the right time for them to come into a squad. We don't have the players in front of them to push them along to pull them along. Uh, Zach is not pulling him along, and Tierney is too injured to bring him along. Right, so we don't have the right players sitting in front of them. We needed somebody in between them, right? I believe, just to bring them along so that we can use them. So that's my reason why I think those two players were just too soon. Ramsdale, good one, right? Uh, Tamiyasu, if he could stay healthy, guess what? We would be happy with that, wouldn't we? Right? I think he did okay. He's not going forward the right guy for us, but defensively, I'll take him all day. You know, if we have a reason to be defensive, you bring him in, right? And then maybe you go to back five, all right, for that reason. But and Erdegaard, they have their eye set on him, and they want to see it work, just like in Kedia, right? So if it works for them, we'll see. We'll see about that. Who else did? Oh, White is probably for me. White, and it's probably for a lot of people, is the one player that I don't think that wasn't the right one. Not for the like. I would have rather spent the extra 60 and got Dunk, right? If that's what it would have taken, because they weren't selling him. We went there and said we want this player, and they said here's a number, right? Why would you? There's probably other players at that time that you could have bought at a better price, and less of a risk in terms of cash that you pull out. So yeah, White is probably the worst of them in my eyes, in the sense that um, I wanted somebody a little bit that solidified that spot a lot better. He didn't do that for me. But it seems like he'll be all right. But it seemed like a lot of money at that time, when I would rather have taken. I rather would have kept Louise, even though a lot of you guys say no, no, Louise. Louise gave us what we wanted. Does stupid things just like a lot of our other leaders on our squad. One in one in particular, right? But he would have helped grow that back line, and maybe Saliba stays for me. Um, yeah, Mr. Tom, I'm glad he's on my show, so I don't have to go out and get him. Right? He knows a little bit about this thing called football, which is good for me. It helps me, keeps me informed. Um, Oh yeah, this right here is definitely on his for me it's that near post, right? I think that's what you mean, right? Near post, he gets beat all yeah, near post he gets beat all the time consistently. It's like he doesn't think they're gonna take that shot. And it's the it's the easiest shot for them to take, right? Because it's like, what, if I can get a fraction of a second in front of this goalkeeper, it's in, and he is always leaning the other way. He's so flat-footed on that. He gives them a small area, and then he doesn't protect it when they do. I mean, we know he's got the ability to go to reach out long and tip some balls over the post the crossbar. So and when he just showed that in the England game, right? Did the exact same thing, right? So I kind of feel like those are things he's going to hopefully grow on. Hopefully, somebody's telling him, "No, buddy, you need to work on that game, part of your game." So we'll see. We'll see. Uh, uh, what are you talking? Is this about me? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. Good to see everybody in the chat. Yeah, Mr. Tom. Sema, what are you talking about? No, 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 no. He's not back. He just they keep saying no. Your passport's been revoked. You're not allowed in. Nah. If Bellerin comes back and actually puts on a red shirt, I'll be disappointed. Um, you know, I think Arsenal needs to at the least get their money back, and maybe not immediately, maybe over the course of time. I don't understand, these players are finally leaving, performing, and now the teams don't want to pay for them. And like I said, that's all on Arsenal. We've kind of set that precedence that we don't, we will pay our players to leave. And nah, Bellerin, no, no. I'm sorry, no, it can't happen. He cannot. He cannot go. If he's on the plane to Florida, I'll be upset. I'll be really upset. He should not. No. Just tell him that don't bother coming, because you're not part of our plan. That's not. I'd rather not waste the time. Yeah. You're right about that. It doesn't mean they will, but they've given us. I think Erdogan's given. If you look at what the stats say, and I know stats aren't everything, but the stats say he's actually creating opportunities for us. It's just that we suck in front of him, right? And you know that part of that. You can say part of that's Nketiah. Maybe it's Nketiah because he wasn't able to perform well enough in practice to when we do needed some help, and Aubameyang and Lacazette were failing. Arteta still wouldn't go to him. Um, he was so confident in his elder statesmen that he went with them, and then watched as we just struggled when it came down to it. And by the time he put Eddie in, I think he didn't give him enough time to make a difference. So I kind of feel like, you know what, that's on Arteta. As far as Nketiah not getting more game time, because he says he has a lot of confidence in him. So if he does, then play the man. You know, play the man. Uh, let's see, what's this? You know what? If they're going mad, then why does he keep doing it over? And this is not. How many times will you think? I think he's given up a near post goal in every other game he's played, probably in the last like month or two of the season. I mean, the near post is killing us. I mean, we put all that. The defense looks really good. The only place they have to go is near post, and he still gives it up. So mentally, he's just not prepared for it, and so hopefully he's doing better. But we just saw in the England game, what they scored, what goals from their post, I think. Defense was poor around him, but dude, if you're gonna give up the near post, don't come off your line that far then, because you're not able to get there. And he gets a hand on the ball, just no power behind it. But yeah, nah. What else we got going on here? Um, Yeah, it's 14 is just a number, man. And it's all it is. It's not a shirt. It's not the man, it's not the king. So it's just a number, right? That's what we're gonna have. That's what they've done. They belittled it to a number, all right? Just another number. Somebody was saying that why don't we just go back to the days when you just the first 11 got shirts and you moved on, all right? So there wasn't any, the first 11 got their shirts, and then you moved on from there. And there's no like, well, he has to be a number one because this and that. Nah. If you start, you get the top 11. One of the shirts from the top 11. You move on from there. So for me, I like that idea because I think sometimes we put too much pressure on these numbers, and players these days are a lot weaker mentally, right? So if we put pressure on them because of the number on the shirt, then they usually sometimes fail. Yeah. Now he says he want. You know what? When a player says he wants it, all the power to him. Let him take it and let him show us why he should have that shirt. All right. If he wants it, he better show us why. All right, because that's what we want to see. And that means to me that he's battling for a starting position if he feels like he wants that shirt. You know. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talking about Ian Wright. I know he came out going against the fans that were screaming at Nketiah and all of that. I mean, I don't think it's the bulk of us. I think a lot of us don't feel it should, his deal should include a number requirement. I mean, 100,000 a week. I don't think that's all. That's a lot. That's a lot for a player that you didn't feel confident playing for the season. To be part of your rotation. Um, you showed a lot of confidence in him during the press releases that you put out there, but not in actual putting him on the pitch. I mean, it seems like until you got your hand forced, meaning Lacazette basically started to break down and his performance has dipped. I mean, I was talking to somebody on Twitter, kind of going back and forth with them about that, and Nketiah was supposedly his man, but he didn't want to put him in, even Lacazette, what had scored. He hasn't scored a open field goal for us in the last 2-3 months of the season. Two goals he scored were all PKs. I mean, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. And he still wouldn't put him in. You know, Nketiah got all his minutes right at the end when it was almost like, well, we have no choice now. You know, I mean, what is it? Lacazette won the whole game. I think it was it a Southampton game? The whole game with no shots. He's a striker. Come on. Come on, come on, uh, come on. Yeah, I've heard the Gallus. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, if they want it, give it to him. If you feel like he deserves it, but he's gonna have to show for it. Expect to see big things from him, or else what's the point? Mm. Yeah, see that's the thing. That is true, right? Arsenal, their marketing in terms of selling a shirt, when to push things out. This whole thing of pushing Vieira out there and then sneaking in Ed Nketiah right afterwards, when Eddie Nketiah had a deal in front of him a while for most of the season. That's what marketing does for you, right? That's what it does. And then for this one, it's all about the shirt, all about the shirt. And it's like, no, it can't be all about the shirt because I need to see goals. We need to see goals from this man. Give me some goals. Give me some goals. Let's see. Yeah, nah, nah, yeah. Like I said, I've seen it too many times, and it's that's on him because it's not the one time. It's not like a freak situation. It's consistent. So he needs to switch. He needs to fix that Ramsdale. Yeah, no, I see. I hear this, and that's what I'm saying. Like the 14 isn't the 14 anymore; it's just a number, and that's to me what football. A lot of sports is actually going that way. Sometimes they're killing their sport. They don't even realize it, right? In certain sports, the number meant something. If you got a 23, you knew what that meant in basketball, right? You got a 14, you know what that meant, right? You got a 9, you got a 1, whatever. All these numbers, they meant big things. And usually when you're at the point where you got that number, it meant something, but it also meant you've done a lot to get there. Now we're giving these shirts out in the hopes that they will, give us something in return. And that's not guaranteed. And that's not the way it should work. It should be the point where, you know what, I have to give you this number because you're just too good, right? You so it's just Mr. Tom here. He might be he might in the eyes of Arteta, he might be a bad player just because he's got a little bit of as they say, a little bit of soul, a little bit of aggressiveness, and he might actually chat back at Arteta. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like somebody who might speak their mind, and I could see that with Rafinha. So yeah, I think Jesus might be on the nicer side. That's why I said he's like got that city vibe to him, a little quiet guy. Even though Rodri, basically, I don't think he's a quiet guy, but I think yeah, I can see where you're going with that one. But nah, we'll take him. We'll take him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've never gotten into the kits. One because I could never afford them when I was little anyway. So I never. I'd like to have. I always like to have one, and so far, I think all the kits that I do have, they're like the ones my dad would like buy at the shop, at the market or whatever. So he didn't like going in and spending the top money for a shirt, anyways. I don't mind what the shirt is as long as my team's winning, right? Nobody cares at that point. If I'm wearing a 5 pound shirt or a 50 pound shirt, does it matter? Nope, my team's winning. It doesn't. Nobody cares. So yeah, but I definitely see the draw to them, and I do like the black ones that might be coming out. So, hopefully there'll be a time when it makes sense for everybody to get one. Yeah, BX Gunner. Yeah, so it's Eddie time, right? Eddie, Eddie, Eddie. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, nah, yeah. See, when you think of these numbers, right, you got players that just epitomize them. So, yeah, I see that. I see that. I don't think you need to put that. And people say, "Oh, it's not." You might not be putting pressure on him, but it is putting pressure on them because now he goes out there and he does what we've seen him do in the last number of seasons. He's going to be screaming at him, and part of them going to be justified, and part of it's not even on the players. It's on the coach. It's on the marketing team, right? We always scream at Arteta, but it's not Arteta's problem, right? It's KSC's problem. It's Vinay's problem. It's Edu's problem. but Arteta gets a lot of the fire, a lot of, a lot of smoke, as they say. Yeah, no, I assume this means you mean he's young, right? Yeah, he's definitely he's not ready for that. There's no reason to put any more pressure on him as they already gonna get, right? Guys talking about some stuff that my history, my background doesn't give me, but I'm always glad to hear all these new oh, Johan Cruyff, yeah, yeah, no, I am, yeah, no, I am. I'm glad always guys get to fill me in on the football talk. All right, so somebody, Mr. Tom, somebody, Ben, talk to your man. All right, go ahead and talk to your man. All right. I mean, I don't know. One, you might have the order wrong. I don't know. Maybe the order's wrong. I don't know if that's from first to last or last to first. But Leeds fans need to talk to Mr. Tom. He's got I don't know what do you I don't know. Nah, something's not right there. I don't know what it is. Something's just not right with this list. So it's just not right with this list. uh, oh no! Look at this. You both got problems. Yeah, this is. I go to you for some good football talking, and you give me that list. Come on. Uh, yeah, I'm hoping he's ambitious because Shameless would be really. I'd hope not. Yeah, and like you said, I hope he's out there to be the killer. I mean, he take that shirt and run with it. Take that shirt and run with it. So hopefully that's what he's all about. I did see him. There was some, Twitter or Instagram or something like that. He was out there. Working out in the sun or whatever on the beach. So hopefully that's what he's all about. That's what he's all about. Ah, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. I alright, so I'm gonna take a look at I've heard that name before, Johan Cruyff. Yeah. I'll take a look at some of his videos and see. Deutsch. Deutsch. Cool. Deutsch. So uh there you go. No, that's kind of cool that you got to do that. I mean, are there players like that right now that you kind of you'll be happy to get their autograph? I don't think it's the same now because you see them too much. It's I mean, on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of things that it's missing as well from these games now. You just sometimes you get this full overload. Autograph don't mean much anymore, right? Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, you do have way words there, Mr. Tom. Yeah. So, and that's the problem, right? So you have a really good player, and they've all had all these numbers, right? Next thing you know, um, bang, you know. So yeah, that's why the numbers at some point you just can't do. I mean, I think if you follow baseball, the Yankees, right, had so many good players. You start retiring numbers, you don't have enough for your players because they've got so many good ones come through. So yeah, so the number means something, and yeah, I think you should hold back on them before you give it out. There's no rush to give Eddie Nketiah 14, and if that has to be part of his deal, then I don't think that's the Arsenal way. We always talk about the Arsenal way. We all talk about Arsenal, classy, all these things that we remember from back in the days. If a player needs to have a number to show their worth to you, then I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. I hear you. Nobody wants to give any money to these guys. I mean, they don't need it, but they don't deserve it from us. Hey there, Reddy's joined us as well. Welcome to the little impromptu shows. You see, we've been going for like an hour now, so this would be pretty cool, I guess. For so yeah, trying out in this new environment here, little platform here. I think you're talking about 90 God status. I think we're talking about Jordan Koof. Is that what you're talking about? I hope I'm saying the name right. Crouch. So yeah. Yeah, I'll take a look at some of the videos of him. I always like to have a little bit of a. It's hard for me to talk about if I haven't seen it at least and talked about it. So I'll take a look at that. And now Mr. Tom has gone there again. Some people talk to this man. Tell him I don't believe this is true. I don't believe this is true. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna see this is why, and see you put this out there, Mr. Tom, and that's when people start going a little crazy and thinking something's not right about this whole situation. You know what I find it's what I find really weird is I can watch this show on one of my YouTube accounts, but not on my main one, which I find weird. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm glad you guys found it. Um, this is cool. Definitely enjoyed it. It's about an hour now, so we'll probably finish off here and move and let you guys have the rest of your day. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's see what else. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna tell us our player. Yeah, yeah. I get retiring the numbers. I do get it. It's got to be big numbers, big names, big players. Some would say, and I think if I'm correct, um, I just want to check something here before I say it. Just want to make sure I have you know, you got like, seven there, but you don't have six, right? I mean, is it true to say that some would say that like a Tony Adams maybe should be the number should be retired for what he's brought to the squad. I understand like we give them to the players with the bigger names and stuff like that, but some would say maybe a Tony Adams also would be on that list, right? I mean, they did a lot for the squad, so I don't know. So that's where it starts to get a little crazy when you start retiring numbers because you probably have a lot of world class players that have done a lot for the squad, you know, and it makes it a challenge. Yeah. So yeah. So there you go. So like I think when I saw those three numbers, I said I think you're missing one. So definitely yeah, I think it gets a little tough when you start doing that, or those numbers are retired and the players actually make the call whether or not you can wear it, right? Because I think that's happened before where they've tried to they retired a number and they actually went to the player and said, "Is it okay?" The player would go to that said player and say, "Is it okay for me to wear your number?" And it's like a badge of honor to wear it. you know, I think that's kind of cool. So like not anybody gets the number. And you would know whether it's worth your time to go have that conversation. Eddie definitely doesn't know. Isn't ringing up Henri talking about kind of wear your shirt. It's not. This isn't just for it. You should have done. You had to have done something for it for me in my eyes, anyways. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you go down the list and you're just going to pick up all these numbers being retired. But I kind of feel like not necessarily retired, but basically it's just taken seriously when you get that short number, right? It's a lot to live up to when you put it on. I kind of feel like that's the way it should be. I don't think it should be. Well, you know what? I need to make a deal. I'll take what you're offering, but I need that shirt. I mean, if Arsenal said no, would he have not taken the job? I'd that's the point, right? It shouldn't have to, you shouldn't have to write it down, right? You shouldn't have to write it down. Look, I need you to wear this shirt number, so I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper to say, yeah, you can wear it. What? So when that guy turns around and does something silly like we've seen some players do, do you have to go and renegotiate it out of their contract? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't need to do that. It should be really easy. I like to say things should be easy, and it should be easy whether or not you get that shirt. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, you got the number because you were that good, and you just kept your starting position, and that's why those numbers are there, right? So, yeah, Mr. Tom, everybody saying hi. Des, welcome to the show. does the enforcer for those who have seen him on YouTube. I think Canon Chatter and Guna Matters. You'll see him on there once in a while. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I do feel like those numbers they're not necessarily given out too easy, but they're given out too easy in the sense that Nketiah shouldn't even be asking for that shirt. You should be happy your team wants him to play for him right now. I mean, you look at your career and you go, I've got what, 27 goals in like 5 years? 27, right? The man who wore 14, 27 sometimes would be one season for him, and that's in all competitions. And, it's, yeah, we're talking about Ballon d'Or type quality players at that level, right? I don't think you should have to ask for that number, man. Come on. You can earn that number, I think. Earn it, please. Earn it. That's it. Yeah, why not bring in some knowledge to us? Yeah, no, it's and like I said, this is kind of killing the sport to a little bit. You got to write down in a contract that you need to wear a number shirt. Doesn't right? It needs to be. This is where you've got like the Messi and the Ronaldos right now about to probably on their last legs, as they say, and they brought it from day one. You saw something in them, and it just kept growing and growing and growing, and you know they've done the job. So I kind of feel like, yeah, put in the work. I mean, that's the other part to this. Put in the work, we'll see it. Are we I think if Nketiah was put in the work, he would get playing time and more of it, and there'd be a reason to say he needs to play. And either Arteta is the problem, and that's why we're not seeing it, or the player is not making it clear as day that, guess what, I need to play. I need to play. Yeah, there you go. John Jensen. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. See, no, I say it's just a number because that's the way that Arsenal's treating it. They're treating it like it's just a number, and that, like you said, as why not? That's the team basically to belittling the things that come with that number, that come with that shirt, that come with that crest, that come with being on an Arsenal club, right? It's supposed to be a big thing. We kept saying that the knock is different, right? We kept saying, the knock is different. Well, if the knock's different, then you don't need to. You don't. I don't need to give you a number, right? You know what this is all about. So yeah, yeah. No, I think that, like you said, I think it's more that they're like, I'm gonna. If Arsenal wants to do that, that's cool. But then they have to understand what's going to come with that, right? You have to understand what's going to come with that. He's going to have a lot of pressure on him, and then what's going to happen tomorrow, right? What's going to happen tomorrow? He goes out there, doesn't perform, and then people are going on about the 14 shirt, and they're like, "Get over it now. Get over it." Why? It's coming. This is part of the dynamics of this squad, right? It's not. It's just a number. Oh, you didn't say that for the number of years that the man wearing 14 was a god, was looked at a football god. One of the best in the world. So who do I want? Yeah, I've said earlier, we need at the least right now we need Jesus and Tielemans. I feel, because I kind of feel like that will at least to some degree fill out our starting 11. I kind of want to see a striker, and if that's Jesus, I'll take it. If Rafina is the man, because we can't do Jesus, then we'll do that. Tielemans will hopefully push somebody to the bench, a Xhaka to the bench, and Erdogan, Tielemans, and Partey would be that middle, that three that we talk about there in the middle there. Um, so that's kind of, and I feel like that's good enough for us right now. Just for a starting 11, we do need depth. So I'm going to take, give me some depth, and I think we've done that with Marquinhos and Fabio Vieira. That's more depth that we don't have, right? If they're bringing those players in, that means Arteta looks at his bench and they're sitting there, and he's like, "All right, I need to bring you in." If he can, if it's the same thing that we just saw with Tavares and Sambi to some respects, then that doesn't make any sense. I need players he's going to trust. Yeah, I need players he's going to trust. Hey, everybody's saying hello to everybody. I'm glad. I said it's like an hour. I'm like getting ready to go, but I see some more people could show in, so I don't mind talking. As I said a year ago, you wouldn't have got me talking like this on a show, at least, especially all by myself. Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely need these things need to be pushed through the door, and let's move on, right? I need to see. I thought we were going to see Nketiah on the phone talking to Jesus, right? That's what I thought. I mean, if you're talking about marketing genius, we would be expecting it, but it would be cool, right? You would expect to see that. It was cool when we had the phone call the other time, right? When somebody came, I forget who came, it was like Gabrielle came in, and had the phone call. So with Louise, I think it was. Those kind of things, those are cool. You remember those things. So yeah, no, I don't understand what's going on, and I think the Tielemans they said is am I right, or is it Gabrielle? They haven't actually submitted a bid. Come on, I don't know. I think they're haggling over. Say it's 5 million. That's nothing. That's nothing. You just spent seven to send people out the door. So for me, go do it. And I'm thinking I might be late from my show right now, so I might have to jump off. Um, Let me see if I got a link. Let's see if I got a link. I did not, so I don't know. I don't know if we're having a show today on Arsenal Fan Circle. I said I wasn't going to be available because today's Father's Day over here in the States, so I thought nothing was happening. But might not be even having a show, so that might work out for me today. So I thought Ray said he was having a show today, but I don't see that. So that's cool. We'll keep chatting. Maybe he'll give me a link here. Yeah. What is this one? Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Get excited, right? Get exited. That's kind of that's Josh. Exited. Yeah. What is this one here? Um, the way things are going, that number doesn't seem like too far fetched, right? That seems like definitely something that can happen. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, you know what, I don't think it's just an Arsenal thing, man. I think it's a sports thing. I mean, all our sports they all get degraded, and all getting degraded because of the money, man. The money is changing things and making it less about athleticism, right, and skills and talent and performances, and now it's about how much more money can we make, right? You see this in the entertainment business and you see it in sports. I mean, it's all about the money. It's not about winning the trophy anymore, right? It's a plus, but it ain't the thing, right? That makes the sports world take to the fans. It is. We really don't care about how much they make. Most of the time, we just want to make sure you got the best players on our team. Yeah. And this is the other thing, right? So, we're looking at him to solidify our back line, right? Come on, stop. Let's fix the front line. He, he got one piece in there, and many think that's a third striker. So please get me some more goals. I mean, your defense was not bad, should have been better, but not bad. So fix that front line. If you're gonna think about this, right? Since Arteta's been in, right? Just before he got in, I think we got Gabriel, and then we've got had Tierney already, but he was in and out of the lineup because of injuries. Uh, and then Ben White, Tamiyasu, all right? And in all that time, right? How many people did we get that score goals? Nobody. Not a one. We didn't bring in anybody that scores goals. I mean, Willian was supposed to do that, but the man came in with like 5 or 7 goals coming in. So he wasn't coming in to do that. I think he was coming in to help support the youth and stuff. Nah, you need somebody coming in that can score some goals and knows how to create easy goals for everybody. So yeah, definitely spend the money on the players. We're haggling over like Partey and haggling over Jesus, and then just going out and buying, and then paying over the top sometimes for some of these players. I mean, I know we got a good deal on Vieira, so if you can do that, then get close to their number and then make it happen, right? Yeah, our transfer clout is just not there, and nobody looks at Arsenal when they come through the door and say, "All right, you might have to work hard to get this deal across the line." They just like, "Nah, you know what? If we just stick to our guts, they will cave." And at some point, you're just gonna have to walk away. Say, "Look, here's the number. Call me back in 24 hours. Otherwise, we'll move on." All right. At some point, it's gonna come down to that. I mean, it shouldn't be the case that uh, you shouldn't be the case that you can't get the job done. So yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that it's Father's Day. That's cool. Happy Father's Day to everybody in the UK as well. So that's cool. That's cool. So what else we got going on here? Yeah, yeah. Father's Day over there for you guys as well. Cool, cool. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I think I mean, Martinez Lazandra, he looks like a good player. I mean, I know people talked about his height, but he looks more like he wants to command that, in that box lot more to me than White does. And many of us think of White probably less as a defender than as a midfielder. So I don't know what you guys feel, but that's yeah. And this is this is part of my point as well, is that these leagues are too busy looking at the money's coming in and not worrying about their sport in general, right? They don't really have a care in the world about the sport that they actually grew up loving, the ones that are still there, that are still around. It's not the same football anymore. All right, not the same football anymore. So it's all about the cash, man. It's all about the money. It's all about the TV rights and all that kind of stuff. And it's not about the roar of the crowd. Yeah, the Arsenal fans are back because they miss football. But I think if you ask a lot of them, is this what it was like when you were at Highbury? They probably say no, not even no. And it's not even try to compare. Right? I think the atmosphere was totally different, right? When you went to a match. So I kind of felt like, yeah, yeah, no, it definitely does, man. We need goals, and I mean, we're like 20. Even though we got 61 at the end of this season, there's probably 20 goals in there that we missed opportunities on. We definitely I saw like I think I saw a stat. Like I said, had like 8 shots in a game, like three on target, no goals. I mean, come on. At some 8 shots on goal for a striker in Arsenal in a game, and when he doesn't get a goal, come on, that's not right. Yeah, you know what? This one is kind of. Let me see. Before I forget, I saw Alex. Yeah, Alex, thanks for joining. This is like as I said, this was a little impromptu show. I just started up just to see how this red stream. I saw you use that, so I decided to test it out, and I'm kind of liking it. Kind of liking it. I don't have the power to have multiple people on, but I do like the fact that I can start it up really quickly and then just start talking. So I do like that. So you kind of got me hooked on this one. I just um, yeah, yeah. Was this a comment? I, Pepe should be gone already. I don't know why he's still here. This is Arsenal, right? You didn't play the man. He wants out. He seems like he's setting himself up to leave. Do whatever, get him out the door. If it's 20, 20 is better than what you're doing right now. You're just wasting 72. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather get 20 than waste the 72, because that's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like to me. You know? Yeah. Um, yeah, you're not going to come to Arsenal and just get first team football, especially this young in your career. It's not like he's coming in, as far as I'm concerned, the top player in the league at his position. All right, Arsenal, yes, isn't at that level where you could think that, but still, come on. And he's worrying about first team football today. Nah, don't worry about first team football today. You're gonna get it tomorrow. Don't worry, because if Tierney body continues to go the way it's been going, you're gonna get to play. If I was him, I would be like, yeah, I'm in. Especially the fact that he sounds like he wants it. Come on, show me. This is like giving Eddie wants the 14. Show me. You come to Arsenal and you battle and you take that spot. We'll gladly give it to you. You know, the shirt number, the guaranteed minutes, that gotta go. That can't happen anymore. We can't be doing that. That's not how the sports thing works. You know, it's not. It's it's like going. It's like the guy. I want to go to the Olympics, right? But I don't want to qualify. I just, come on. I know I'm good enough. Nah, you gotta qualify to go. And guess what? Only two people in your country get to go. And if you're the third in your country, you don't get to go. So boom. So yeah, I say, you know what? If he doesn't want to go because he doesn't want first team football, I assume he means starting position because yeah, I think he can. I think he could be on the bench for us at the least if that's what he's saying. I don't know. I I would. Who? Come on. I think he'd get first. And I read that his first team is in starting, but I think yeah, I think there's a spot for him to play. I believe that. Starting, nah, nah, but he could definitely take it if he wants it. Yeah, the heartbeat of the club, right? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, no, no. This is you don't want to change what Arsenal's all about. So I think they gotta listen. They gotta listen, and not necessarily listening to the fans, but they gotta listen to the halls of Arsenal. When you walk through those marble halls, there's a sound that there's people talking to you there. You gotta listen to what's going on there. It's not all about, like I said, it's not about the clicks and the shows. No, it's a good break, and but I definitely miss it. I definitely want to see it. I want to see what's next, and this is what we say all the time, right? I always say I can wait, but I'm impatient. I want it to happen now, So I want to see where we go next. But it is good not to have the stress. But there's always stress, right? We're stressing now about players coming and going. So as much as it's not you're not screaming at the screen, we are screaming at the screen per se, but for what's not happening. So yeah, you know what's crazy is I was born in England back in '71, and I couldn't go. My dad didn't want me to go, of course, because it was crazy back then. It was a little rough to go to games, right? A little tough, so that wasn't really an option for me to go when I was that little. But I definitely missed that, and I left by the '80s, so I missed an opportunity to be there for that. But I would have liked to have seen that. But definitely at some point we'll come across and see a game. Might even be in England sometime this summer. So we'll see. I'm not sure how much free time I'll have and hang with my dad and my kids and stuff, but for a short time. But hopefully that'll works out, and I'll could be able to see some of you guys or go see the stadium and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. But definitely, I want to come back and do a full blown Arsenal trip and do that thing right. The family trip makes it a little bit tougher. Yeah, no, this like I said, it's yeah. I get the stats aren't all, but it just means that he's putting the ball in the box. Some of our players aren't even doing that, and that disappoints me as well. I mean, I'm always uh, like Saka does that to me. Like he'll get into the box and he'll take an extra touch, and then miss out on an opportunity. He puts his head down; they have no choice, right? I think that's what he lacks, that assertiveness. Sometimes when he gets into the box and extra touches here and there, and we see it all the time with all the players, extra touches, but sometimes your footwork has to be set before that ball gets there. So all you do is you just put the cross in, put it low, and hits one of your players. So yeah. Yeah, Mr. Tom, but you know what? I think you enjoyed the ride, didn't you? That's what we talk about. Talk about the ride. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. You enjoyed it now, right? In the middle, you're kind of like, "Ooh, it's getting a little dangerous here," but at the end, you're like, We made it." So yeah. Yeah, I think I can have multiple guests, but I thought I said I only can do two, so that's my thing about it. So yeah, but like I said, I like it. The platform, the display looks kind of cool, nice on the eyes than the StreamYard. But yeah, I'll see. Like I said, I'll see about using it and see if I can bring some people on. Um, Let me see. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So let's see. Like I said, I'll see about this bringing people on. But I do like this. What else we got here? Yeah, I just don't think Hickey is a leads man for you. That's all. That's the reason why it probably wouldn't work out. But I do. Yeah, I don't know. The name sounds cool, so I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, he should be able to get on the squad. Yeah. Sometimes people agree with you, Mr. Tom. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, like I said, I don't. If you have to write that into the contract, that's like saying, guess what? You're going to be a salesperson for me, right? I'm going to bring you in. I know you've done really well in your other companies. I'm bringing you in, and you get a bonus of said money when you meet the your quota. And the person comes in and says, "No, I need my base to be that because that's kind of who I am." Whoa, you don't want to work for it? You don't want to work for it? You don't want to work for that bonus? Nah, nah. At some point, you're like, no, I guess it's not worth it. I think the fact that you're talking to him says you want to give him the minutes, but he has to bring something else to the table. All right. It doesn't matter if you had your best season at all. I can't guarantee you're going to play for me until you step onto our pitch, do some practice, and let's see what you got. Right. So I kind of feel like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I kind of feel like, yeah, that's where we are. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. If that's what he's asking for, guaranteed minutes, I just. Nah, but I mean, what was Eddie and Kedia waiting for to get the shirt number? That's yeah. So I don't get that. So if that's what's happening there, then that's kind of strange as well. Because that's the only thing it could be, right? 100,000. That's what the number was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no. I might see if I can get somebody to join us here. So just a second here. Let's see how this thing works because I haven't tried it out. So let's see. You might have a guest on. You might like him. So let's see. Nah, I this this right the fact that Hickey's all about that nah I can't, nah no I no no I don't want that. I want something like the fact that Arsenal's looking at him means that they want him to play. So I don't think that should be there should be any reason to say we'll guarantee you minutes. What? Hey, what if you break your leg? I'm not gonna guarantee you minutes. No. Yeah, yeah. No, this is what my dad was a little concerned back in those days. The football hooligan was a thing, a lot more than it is today, and just yeah, this just wasn't like something to take his kid to see. I know a lot now. You can take your kids to go see the game. It's not as bad, right? But there's probably some stadiums where just not. You don't want to walk your kids through that kind of thing. So yeah, no. So we'll see. Uh, yeah. See, and that's the thing, right? We thought we saw this with Willian, right? His contract looked like it had a deal in it as to, you know, you um yeah. 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 So yeah, so let's see how that goes. Yeah, you can't come on. Like I said, the Willian deal is a reason why that we have that thought that right. You got to it's in your contract you have to play because he kept playing him. even when he was terrible. I mean, so it with Lacazette, and I know he didn't have a contract in there that said we play him just to, we pay him, and he's set the minutes every game because that's just silly. If Messi's not doing it for you, you don't play him. That's how it has to be. Yeah, yeah. Nah, if that's Arsenal, if that's the Arsenal way, I don't like it. Yeah, these are some names I don't know, but I guess you guys will fill me in. It's funny you say that. I like Mr. Tom coming on my show, but he doesn't come on to laugh at me. He comes on to have a really good football chat, which is what I want to have anyway. So yeah, I hear you. Yeah, yeah. I guess for me, it's the weekly salary because it's the allocation of funds that you're giving to a player that if it doesn't work out, can you afford to will you be able to move them on? That's always been the problem with Arsenal. Either we spent a lot of money on them or their salaries are just too high and then we can't move them on when they don't work out. And usually it doesn't work out. I think usually because we decide the team decides that they're going to change things up and go away from that player's strength, right? So maybe that will change, but I don't know. Right? We spent we put money into Aubameyang's pockets, and then for me, it started not to work out after a while. Why was that? All right. Was it only about the player? Some of it had to be about the way the team was being run, the way they expected him to perform in certain situations. So I kind of felt like the weekly salary is the problem with Nketiah's deal. Like for Pepe, we say it's the 72 mil, but then people are also saying he's making a lot of money on top of that. So they're both a problem, right? I think the short number maybe is just like a slap in the face as to some people's pain. I definitely think it's the weekly salary because what has he done to earn that? Like you've got Saka there. Who is he? Like when it sets a precedence that you can't get away from now. So when you go to Saka and say, well, you've got 2 years left, you can't bring like 100K salary offer to him now, can you? You can't. Getty is not a starter. You're telling a starter now, I want you to stay on my squad, but you're going to earn the same amount as maybe our third string, second level, number two striker, right? Just it makes the business a little bit tougher, and Sack is definitely worth, you know, more than 100 if that's where the 100 gets you. 100 gets you a second level player. So I'm gonna have somebody join, and I guess because it goes against Stefan's gonna like this, but so let's see. Um, oh, that's what I have to do there. Oh, so here we go, Mr. Tom. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this, like I said, the impromptu show. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Definitely, definitely.
Greetings, everyone.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like I said, I was just testing this thing out and thought I would just go in there. Next thing I know, Steve Daneman was in there, and as you see, it's grown now. I've got like at one point I think we had like 11 people in here. So for me, that's pretty big. I enjoy that. And then we just been chatting away. Yeah.
How many is it currently?
So that's six now, which is probably at about an hour. I said, I'm probably gonna finish up in a couple minutes, and now it's 30 minutes later. So.
Well, to be fair, I've come out of YouTube, so that'd be why you lost one.
Oh, okay, no problem. Cool. Yeah. No, no. Like I said, this is cool. Just chatting away. We're talking about I guess, the state of football. I don't know what you feel about the Eddie and Kedia contract. Is it the contract itself? Is it the weekly salary, or is it the shirt that's the most, an issue for if you had an issue with it?
Sorry, what do you mean shirt? What are you talking about? Issue?
The
What,
man got the king's number, man.
wait,
Yeah.
sorry, wait. He got. Oh my God! Oh God! Wait, he got Calvin Phillips's number. What?
Oh,
How
yeah,
did?
you're right. You're right.
I don't
uh,
know. Don't know how that'd be relevant to
yeah,
Leeds or
yeah,
Arsenal. No, seriously. Yeah, I did read something about he got Thierry Henry's number. Is that right? Is it Henry? I
yep,
don't
yep.
know. Yeah, and I'm guessing you're all upset about that because
I'm not really. I'm not. To me, it's not necessarily that I'm upset with it. I can see why people are upset with it. I think that it puts a lot of pressure on him, unwarranted pressure on him. People are going to be talking about now that people have something else to talk about him for, right? You're wearing this shirt and you're showing us just dross, right? You're not showing us. You're not making that shirt, making me proud. That number doesn't make me proud when you play in it. That kind of thought comes out. You know. Now you think of like if somebody had the Furpo number and they didn't do it justice, how you would feel.
well, they wouldn't be alive for much longer. I would. Oh, sorry. The police might be. I would hunt them down. No, I don't know. I don't know. Numbers are symbolic, aren't they, for many reasons, and
Yeah.
mean more to some than others. And I don't know. I find it odd to give him that number in the sense that, or it's made a thing of, and he's a player who generally you've gone all out to convince to stay with you, when really what you should have done in the first place was just play him up front from the start of football matches instead of bringing him on as sub, making his record look less auspicious, let's say, and then in the summer being like, "Oh, we'll give you 100 grand a week to stay." He'd have probably stayed for 70 grand had he felt like he'd be playing football. Whereas now you're paying him a lot of money because he deep down knows he's probably not going to still be playing football. I could be wrong, but that's why the amount is so eye-watering, because he needs some form of compensation.
Yeah. And that shows you the state of play, right? I mean, he hasn't for me fulfilled enough of the requirements to be a striker in the Premier League, much less in Arsenal. Probably not even in a championship, right? Like, and I always hear the phrase he doesn't get enough minutes going into this, but I'm like, well, he's been in the league many years. It's not like this is his first year in the league and he's just feeling his weight around. He's been in it long enough. He started some games for us before. He he once he comes on, he needs to he needs to make his presence known. Right. I look at a Milsurf Row come on for like a 4 game stretch in like the last 10, 20 minutes of games and score. He made his presence known, and we all sat there. Well, maybe he needs to get some starts, right? Because he is showing that he can bring something. I don't think he's shown it when he started as much as we would like, but yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
can I? It's just to address a comment from Stefan. Don't think
yeah.
I'm ignoring our loyal fan base, of course.
Hmm.
Uh, you're allowed to wear red if you're a Leeds fan and it's a Hulk Hogan piece of merchandise. Exceptions are made in that situation. If it had the Man United badge, no, toilet paper, expensive toilet paper. But no, Hulk's rules, fine.
There
Judge
you
Tom,
go. Yeah, there you go. So
allowed.
there's a wrestling caveat to on the on wearing of anything that's not
Yeah,
Leeds colors. So
exactly. It is yellow though as well, so
there you go.
half
There's some
Leeds.
yellow in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
please
yeah,
continue.
yeah. Now, like you said, this is the other part of it, right? I mean, it doesn't work out. How do you sell them? Somebody goes, well, this guy, and like I said, that's why the salary is the issue. The contract, he's always said he wanted him, and nobody said he should, but he always said he wanted him. He sees something in him. All right, at least he's got players that hopefully, like I said, he can get something out of them because he knows that they know that he wants them. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah.
perception of him is that he bangs goals in no matter where he goes or what he does or whatever. The only difference is you don't put him on the pitch enough for that to actually be a thing. But everywhere else he's played, like from his record for my team was respectable. Even for he won a first teamer at Leeds, but he scored important goals. And like I just think it's strange that you gave him that amount of money if he's still going to be, making at 3 starts and 28 appearances from the bench where he plays the last 14 minutes of games and can't get into the game and things like that. Because very few footballers are actually super subs. Like that, it's astonishingly rare.
Well,
But
only reason why I say that is because if he says he's so good, right, and that's why he needs to be on the pitch, then we s- we saw Jota, and it's probably not a good comparison, but we saw Jota's first game coming in against Arsenal in the last 20 minutes of a game and score and consistently do that for them. And so it's definitely possible if the skill set's there and the want. I think the want to has to be there as well, um, and the confidence needs to be there. And does he have that? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think he has it enough. So he should be able to do that because he's not going to start every game. And the only way I think like this, that's how Saka made a name, right? He got opportunities and he made it so clear that guess what? I need to get my minutes. That's what players do. They make it clear to the manager, I need to get my minutes. Um, for and that if you do, and it could be for 5 minutes, could be for 15, but at least you got to. For me, you got to show me something, and I don't think he showed that. I mean, yes, he got. I think what in the early part of the season, he comes in, plays his starts, and scores 3 goals. Like there you go. But then that still did not sway Arteta. So
mm.
is there fights going on in at your house? What is that? I sound like a.
Oh no, I've got kids downstairs,
Oh,
so
okay, cool. That's cool. No,
yeah. No,
I just
sorry. I
no,
was wondering if that you could all hear that, but
the dungeon it looks pretty bright today. I must say, if you are in the dungeon, it looks
well,
really bright. I think I can see the
it's
walls
actually
now.
it's actually the interface is it's darker. I actually thought I was showing up as darker, but of
No,
course
I
the
can
time is
see.
lighter.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
the
okay,
time is
fair
definitely
enough,
lighter. So yeah, it looks a little lighter in the dungeon today.
fair enough.
Yeah, no, I
But yeah,
like you said, this it's a lot of money for somebody who's not giving you what players get paid at that price. I think so. Yeah, I kind of feel like he's lucky that he's with Arsenal because with another squad he wouldn't get
mm,
that money. He might get the time, and that's the problem. So which one is it? Is it Arteta? That's an Arteta problem, right?
I think it's an absurd amount of money for any footballer, even But I just it could end up being a good deal that you've convinced him to stay. Because if he gets you 30 goals a season, 100 grand a week is nothing. But if he puts in the same sort of performance, I would say performances because he had his moments last year, obviously, where he actually got your points. But if he, what's the best way of putting it? If he turns around and only ends next season with 5 goals, then you've paid him £5 million to do fuck all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the new age leads hooligan with the red shirt on. Uh,
I've, I've been called worse. It's fine.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of, for me, from a marketing perspective, if he goes in and he earns the 14, you give it to him. Who cares if you change the number mid season? I don't care, right? It doesn't matter when you get, and the number cannot be a reason why you sign someone. Come on, that's the
I,
part
I,
I don't get at all. You can't, it can't like. Hopefully, it's just a gentleman's agreement, a little shake of the hand, to get the contract across the line. But it can't be. You know what? You know what? This is the last bullet point on my request. I want the 14 shirt. It can't be. It can't be. That's almost like saying, you know what, I don't want to wear that crest. I want to wear the other one. That's the only way I'm going to play. It's like, no, you don't make. This is a team thing. You get the number we give you, and you either earn the number you've got, and it's easy, or not.
I will say the only number I really care about my team, rather than the numbers on the players' backs, is the number on the top left of the screen when it says how many goals my team has scored. It's the only real number I truly give a shit about.
Yeah.
Oh no, you wore the number that some player from 40 years ago. Well, I don't care. I
Yeah.
only really know one Leeds player number is the one that I ended up getting on my back when I was about 10. Like Tony Yeboah wore number 21. And I only remember it because I had it. But other than that, they're just numbers.
True. True.
You don't own a number. Sorry, I'm going to upset a lot of Arsenal fans, but Thierry Henry does not own the number 14. He wore it, but the team has that on the back. And I think no, I don't know.
No,
It's like
I don't
people
know if
feel strongly. I don't feel strongly about it. So it's the sort of thing. I have my opinion on it, but I don't see the point in having an argument about it because we can't change the fact that Eddie Nketiah is going to have that number.
Yeah, no, that part we can't, but it's a talking point, and they brought it up. So yeah, so like it is Arsenal's number. They can do whatever they want with it, but they know what that means, and they put a statue in front of the stadium because of the person that put that shirt on. So it definitely meant something, and that was the number they wore. So they all correlate, they all relate somehow.
Mhm.
So to me, it's not it's we're making it just a number, and that's fine, but it carries a lot of responsibility,
Yeah.
regardless of whether whatever you think about that number, it still carries some responsibilities, I believe.
Yep.
It's like putting a shirt on. That should carry more responsibility than the number, and I don't feel like he's been able to fulfill the requirements of the shirt. Partly,
I
I think,
think it's.
yeah.
Oh, go on. No, go on. Go on.
I can say partly some of it's on him, some of it's on Arteta, some of it's on Edu or the coaching staff, whatever like that. But as a team, they haven't helped him fulfill the requirements of putting on that shirt.
I think to some extent they've. I'm going to assume he was either offered it as a yeah. Sorry, I feel like he was offered it as a even if you do play a sub, we still think you're important, and this is why because we're giving you his number. That's what I think has happened
Yeah.
because he wants to. He's obviously signed, obviously for a lot of money. Not naive to that, but you've made him feel important. And usually, what Arsenal do if they've got an attacker that they want to keep is you offer him the armband. But you're not offering him the armband. You've offered him something even more arbitrary.
Yeah, which is just like, why is that? Like I said, I hope that's not in the contract because I really don't. I don't think that's necessary. Like here, you see, you've got Mane making around 100, Silver 60, and these players are one more important to their squads than Nketiah is, based on the fact that when they need something, they go to these players and they put them on the pitch. And
Yeah, but
but
to
but
be fair, with like Mane, you've got to keep in mind he's probably on a generous goal bonus where he will be heavily featured in a position to achieve that goal bonus.
all right. So
If
Nketiah,
argument's
well,
sake, no, argument's sake, if it like Mane's, let's just say I don't know it. I don't personally know him, so I'm not in a position to ask him. But I imagine he might be on 10 grand a goal, but he could get 20 goals, and then he's made 2 weeks' wages for just doing his job.
yeah.
I mean, it could be even more than that. It could be less. I don't know, but it will be argued that he's going to be more in a position to make more money than Eddie still because he'll play.
That's true, but then that's to tell you the level that he's getting is too high
Yeah,
because like he strives to be a Mane and Kedia, right? He doesn't strive to be paid the same level as Mane, because it's just the time of just where he sits in this era of football. He's not going to be put up there on the same shelf, the same level as a Mane, just because he makes the same monies. But
No.
he has the incentives. You put incentives in there to get him there, right? So maybe it's 75 plus he gets monies for the goals that he scores, because that's what you want to make it. But for me, just you put him at that threshold there. You're saying, it's a lot of money at the end of
Yeah.
the season. I mean, like I don't know any City players what they make. Um, like for me, it always seems like they all make tons of money. But I'm assuming like the Rodgeries and the
Yeah.
Cancelos and stuff are probably in that 100 range. Because I know, De Bruyne is earning what, 400, and the goalkeeper's earning close to 200, I think, if I recall. So, um, they probably don't have to spend as much, because you know what, they have so many. I think the fact that they have so much depth there, they don't have to spend as much as us, because they're gonna get their second level players sometimes are more expensive than ours. So they're gonna get to rotate them, and they're happy to bring them on. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching here, but I kind of feel like we're like, like you say, we're not a top four team. So we're trying to entice the players to come. So when we do
I
that
think
Cancelos
you're
thing,
literally at the level you actually are at. Like, I actually think fifth to sixth is a reflection of your club right now,
hmm
based on, well, obviously your results, because that's what the table decides, or they decide the table and vice versa. But ultimately, financially, you can't match the power of many of the teams that are above you, for example. And you, it is debatable whether you've spent your money well. And but with, by the same token, I'm not saying that like you're a bad football team. To be fifth best in England is essentially, you're at least top 20 in the world, sort of that implication. So I don't know. I would be thrilled if my team were fifth in the Premier League.
Yep. Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. It is,
I
but
understand why
it's
you're not thrilled
yeah,
with it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
understand that, because success
yeah,
is relative,
yeah,
and that's what you're striving for, the line above fifth.
yeah.
But at the
I
same
mean,
time,
that's the problem. That is the fact that you said that that to some people's is the problem. We're not striving to be at the top of the table when the season ends. We're not striving to to walk off any of the cup, t- or the European games that we play with a trophy in our hand, and that's the ultimate goal. That is the goal, and then everything else underneath that is just, for me, like I said, a stepping stone. Right? It's just
I
a
do
stepping
think it's
stone.
unfair to say you haven't had a run at the cup. Like, you had one season where you went out of one cup very early, or
Yeah.
the earliest possible time for your team, let's say. But you've won it in the last 3 years, and you've won it the most, I believe. So it's not
Yeah.
like it's like literally the facts suggest you still are a cup team.
No, 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 no. Yes, but that's not what but also then we have won league championships, right? We have won the league, and some would say
Yeah, but
that's
you
starting to
won it
become
in a
a in a distant past, right? It's like almost
yeah, but
20 years and
you're
stuff like that.
winning the title. You like you can technically divide football into two halves. Basically, you won it in the final year before you needed to have millions of pounds behind you to win it.
hmm
Ultimately, that's reality, because you're like the last team to win it before Chelsea started going, right, we're going to have that player who's really worth 20 million, but we'll pay 40, and it's not a bad business move. They're just doing it to guarantee that, like, to flex their muscle. But like something I always felt that fucked your team, to put it mildly, was you had a business plan that is out of date, in the sense that you had your plan to pay for your stadium, which meant that you foregone transfers. And I'm not saying this is bad, and it's not really your fault. It's just the way this happened. You did your business model in such a way that you wouldn't overspend on players, because you were like, once this stadium's paid off, we're going to have one of the biggest stadiums in England and in Europe, and it's going to be modern as hell, we're going to make loads of money, then we can start flashing the cash. But then what happened is, the day you paid that off, the Premier League went and signed its £2 billion deal, so every team had 200 million a season coming in. So your advantage by having your modern stadium was immediately negated, because it didn't matter, because every team had a massive transfer kitty. It's literally what happened.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't know the history behind all of that, but I hear you on that. But I mean, some would just say that just meant it was easy now. Like, now you've got the stadium, let's move on. And like you said, let's do proper business, right? We're gonna have to do proper business, and we didn't do that either. So it didn't really matter. Like, you could have, nothing could have changed. You would have been the same way. But if you still did bad business, guess what? You'd be in the same situation you are today, right?
Like,
So,
an example I can think of that proves sort of what I just said was,
mhm.
you were routinely, Assemble's right, but you were routinely linked with Wilfried Zaha, but before and after he played for Man United. And what would have happened before? You would have turned around to Crystal Palace and gone, we're going to give you 30 million for him. And they would sit there and be like, we need the 30 million more than we need the player, even though really they do need the player. And they'd sell him to you, because you'd essentially bully them into selling. But as soon as they got the TV deal, where they get a relatively equal share of a lot of money, they turned around to you and went, we ain't got to sell him for what you want to buy him for. We've got money. We ain't got more money than you, but we don't need to sell our best player to you. So they didn't. And they never sold him to you. But I thought that epitomised honestly, the way you went backwards, because that's not your fault. But the reality is, a lot of other teams were in a situation where they could have offered an amount of money where even Crystal Palace were like, can we really turn down 80 million for Wilfried Zaha, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's not my opinion. I think that's what actually happened.
No, I hear you. I hear you. And that's another reason why I say the money's changed the game so much that it's, in some respects, it made things easier for like you said, for the easier the teams towards the bottom of the table. But it made it tougher for the teams at the top of the table that were mismanaged. I mean, Arsenal, to some degree, Chelsea, to some degree, United, all these teams, even that team, they all have managed the squads incorrectly and missed out on opportunities that may have been there for them. So, like, yeah. I mean, and the teams that, I mean, to the top managers in the world sitting at the top of the table, right? So even if they even if they make a mistake in the transfer window, it doesn't matter, because you will never see it. You will never see it. Grealish is a mistake, right? It didn't, but it didn't affect them at all. Like, if he didn't come, or if he did come, if he came and sat on the bench,
Yes,
you wouldn't have noticed any difference in the way that they played and performed.
they are at a level financially. Well, basically, they're owned by a country, so ultimately they can shell out 100 million this year, and if it don't work out, we'll buy someone else for 100 million next year, and they'll keep doing it until it works,
Yeah.
because that's modern football, and you're slightly behind that
Oh,
because you can't do that.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, but that shows, that how much the manager means. Like, that's
Yep.
why you need to have that's why, for me, only the top managers win. And it's not because they always have the money, it's because they know what to do with what they got,
But
especially if it doesn't work out.
shows why the line between fourth
Yeah.
and fifth is
Yeah.
something you're always going to straddle. You're
Yeah.
either going to be just above the line or just below the line, and you'll
Yeah.
always be fighting to be just above it, because you can't buy Jack Grealish for 100 million and it not matter.
Nah,
I'm sure you probably could buy a player for 100 million, but you would have to make it work.
no,
Whereas
for sure.
they don't have to make it work. They don't even have to play him.
That's yeah, like I said, yeah. I mean, if he didn't play, you wouldn't have noticed the difference.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, no, of course. But
Yeah, no,
the point of, like, if my team spent 100 million on a footballer, he would be playing on the Saturday and the Wednesday. But then on the days in between that, he'd be watering the grass. I'd have him in the club shop. I'd be getting my 100 million worth. You ain't going home on your days off, mate. You are literally doing every job I can think of within this club because I've got to get my 100 millions worth.
yeah. It
Man
reminds me of
City are
my
just like,
yeah.
what you fancy doing today, Jack?
Yeah, it reminds me of my days when when I was a consultant. I would go into the clients and they would see like what the hourly rate was for my services, which I didn't get much of. But they're like, "Damn, at these rates, you should be doing more than just this programming stuff. We've got the walls outside need to be painted and all
Yep.
that kind of stuff because it's like a lot of money." I was like, "I don't see any of it." But no, I
Yeah.
hear you.
Well, actually, it's a good point you make there because if I can't then have the ground fixed because I spent the 100 million, I'll just get that player to rebuild Ellen Road. Kill
There you go.
two birds, one stone. Yeah,
There you go.
that works. Yeah.
There you go. No, see, and this is the thing here. The scouting at Arsenal is that that's when. So so there you go. So if you're not going to get the best manager, and if you can't afford the easy player, the easy players in the transfer window, then you got to be able to find the players that fit whatever. Oh, it sounds like it's people. Is that wrestling going on? Or door slamming? Yeah.
Probably.
No, I was gonna say, if you can't get the best manager and you can't spend the top monies, then you gotta be able to figure out. You've got to find the gems, right? You got to find those players that nobody's heard of. That next thing you know, everybody's wow. You know, something's that that's you just find a diamond in the rough kind of thing, right? You need to do that. Oh, oh. I don't know if it was.
It's like they're being louder because they know I'm on the computer.
Oh, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like, look, Dad's
Yeah.
talking. Let me get in here and make some noise. But
Mm.
yeah, no.
Oh
So
no, they're my brother's kids.
oh, okay. So the
Yeah,
kids saw it.
I'll get to give them back, but it's fine.
Oh, nice. That's always good. Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
good. No, but like I said,
Yep.
it's if you can't be like these other like a city or not. Liverpool doesn't do that, right? So Liverpool doesn't go out there and spend tons of money because they have the manager and they've had some good players to start as a base. So all they need to do is fill the holes, and they've been able to fill the holes really good with their scouting, I believe. Right? They might have spent a lot of money on players, but those players immediately have turned around and they've reaped the rewards with them immediately. Immediately, not well. You know what? They need to get vetted into the Premier League, right? Diaz didn't take time. Jota didn't. Well, Jota was already, he already. I think he had. You think he had been in the league, right, for a little bit. So they didn't have to wait, right? All that you bring in a Nunez, you bring in a Harlan, they might have to wait, right? They might have to wait for them to be ready to play. So I kind of feel like Arsenal can't do that.
yeah, a lot of players. It's always been a thing though that big money players are expected to hit the ground running, but you do realistically, like, I don't think Thierry Henry was amazing when he first stepped off the boat at Arsenal, sort of thing. He grew into becoming what he did, and I think just a lot of players need it's the money because the money's increasing. The expectation. There will be a fight when I finish this stream. I will. I'll just to clear up, I will beat a kid up.
You can't say that on video. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Allegedly. But yeah. Anyway,
Supposedly, my channel is set up for like anybody over whatever the age limit is. So hopefully they just take that as a joke because it is. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah,
I wouldn't really. They could beat me up, all right. There's
There
two
you
of
go.
them. They would
There
whoop
you
my ass if that came down to that.
Yeah, it's
So,
like the
but
Velociraptors, right? They got you on both
exactly.
sides, and they just have
Yeah,
to corner.
that's exactly what would happen. Yeah. But where were we? Yeah. No, I think with the expectation increasing because of the money, I think there's less forgiveness, or I think there's less forgiveness for players and time. That for the money teams are spending, you need results now. I've said worse. I've said far more criminal stuff like that on the internet. Anyway, but I can't just say something about AFTV that I find interesting, because like obviously I'm obviously not an Arsenal fan, but I have watched their videos, and I see a lot of detractors from that say like they profited off of Arsenal losing. I think that's slightly unfair. I've always felt that I think they want Arsenal to win, but the problem is that because their fan base isn't actually Arsenal fans, it's geared to Arsenal fans, but more people that are not Arsenal fans will watch it when they lose. So the reality is that the channel success relates to not winning.
You know what, that you know how true that is because if United lose, you just want to jump on the Goldbridge channel, right?
Yeah,
If that loses, you're going to jump on the Expressions channel because you just want to see them melt down, and it puts a smile on your face.
it does. It does. When Leeds beat, this is true. This is true. When Leeds beat Tottenham 3-1, I was going to say last season, but now so the first season Leeds were back, but this would have actually been about 14 months ago. We beat Tottenham 3-1 at Ellen Road, and the first thing I did when I got home from work and had my food and that was I put his channel on and I watched the entire 2 hours of his stream. So it weren't even live. I just watched because I knew what was coming. And it was glorious because he got more and more. Basically everything happened in that game that would upset that man. Like Harry Kane had a goal which if VAR didn't exist, it would have counted because he weren't offside. But VAR was like, your nose hair's offside, so it's offside. And I'm sat there like, yeah, it's the rules, isn't it, mate? Like he's offside. And then we ended up going on, and that would have put them, I think, 2-1 up. It would have either gone 1-1 or 2-1 up. But either way, point is, we then went on to turn them over, and I enjoyed it, quite frankly. But I wouldn't, if Tottenham won, like Tottenham have beat us twice since. I haven't even so much as typed his name into YouTube. I don't care what he thinks about Tottenham doing well.
True.
Who wants to watch him happy?
No, you know what? If you want to expand, like you said, if you want to expand your fan base, then you have to cater to everyone, and that means you can't cater to all the good things that happen to your squad, right? I mean, and for me, if you're a fan, you're gonna show that anyways, right? If Leeds lose, you're not gonna be happy, and there are other people listening to you that are gonna be in the same. They're right there with you. They're right there with you, and then the trick is though, for me, you got to be able to play both sides as a fan. Yes, it sounds a little wishy-washy, a little waffling, but that's what a fan does. If we go to a game and you lose 3-0, you're going to be pissed. But if you go to a game and you win 3-0, you're going to be ecstatic. So, that's just the way it works. That's the way this thing works. We are going to go on opposite ends of the spectrum. The sky is falling. We are the best thing since, the best team since, all of that. That's what I feel, and I think that's how you should enjoy this thing. It's not, it's not one of those things where it's like this. It's just a straight line, right? It's just a straight line, no blips. No, I want blips, or else it's no fun. Thing's no fun if it's just, oh, we just finished. Basically 2-2, 2-2, 2-2. Nah, I don't want that. I want a lot of 3-0s and barely any 0-3s. All right.
Their team, or sorry, your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your team are in a situation where, that channel, that particular channel, I will answer that, Assembled, if it's a good question. That channel is in a situation where they are always going to be popular because they were the first. They were the first.
Yep.
They were first to the party. They are they're the WWF of fan channels, because at the end of the day, they got to the party first, they popularised the genre,
Yep.
and everyone else is following them. But they are also in the unfortunate position, because of that, everyone thinks that they are deliberately profiting off of Arsenal. But they'd be wrong to not profit off it. Why would they not? I mean,
well, you know what? For me,
they don't make the team go
Yeah.
out and lose.
yeah,
But
yeah,
by the same token, Gary, I think they have also then popularised a footballing culture where it's easier to tell people, footballers that are ultimately still human, that they're rubbish. Because 20 years ago, there was no avenue to tell footballer that he was shit unless you paid your ticket and shouted it at him. But by then, they've already got your money.
true. Yeah,
Sorry.
I hear that, and I think that's where it kind of rubs some people the wrong ways, because they always seem to be they're not looking at the fandom part of this thing. They're looking at they started getting away from that. I believe some people think they got away from that, where they're all about the number of subscribers and clicks and all this kind of stuff, and just catering more to that than to actual what I would say is just true content, where it's just whatever comes. Like they may even script what they do. I don't think if you're like I might script what I want to say on my pre-recorded videos, because I want to make sure I get out the information clear. But like on this one, I should be able to just speak my mind, right? I should be able to just say,
I don't think they're scripted. What I actually think they are, I think a few of them stumbled onto characters
yeah.
and they play up to that character. Like,
But
it's a natural thing, but
that's
I think that's what happened.
So maybe it's not scripted in the sense that they didn't write it down, but they're gonna come in and they're just gonna be mad all the time, or everything's really good all the time, that kind of thing. So for me, it's like that's not really. I I didn't come on here to hear you talk about the same way, no matter what. All right. You're gonna, I need to not know what you're gonna say the next thing that comes out of your mouth. Sometimes it's gonna be, you're gonna go, oh, this is silly, and sometimes it's gonna be, that's pretty good, right? And I didn't think about that and like that's how you want to hear what people. You like to hear what people have to, how people's minds work, not how you think not how you think people want to listen to you and what they want to say. So
But I think there's an expectation. Like, I don't mean to pick on him, but like, people know how Ty is,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
watch it to see him do the things he does.
yeah,
And but there's a lot of them on there that are like that, because they're not a brand. It's not. But there's an expectation. Well, certain characters. Although it's a real thing. That is a football culture show with characters.
yeah.
Sorry,
No, I
can
hear
I
you.
answer this question
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
assembly?
yeah. I want to. I'll no. I want to. Now that I'll read it and then kind of respond to what I think.
Yeah, please
Go
do.
ahead. Yeah,
It's a good question. No,
yeah,
I think it's actually hard to answer, because in the sense that it's how far does the money go? Because Man City are never like Man City. The nature of money, they are making their owners. Yeah, I don't hate Ty. It's the best example. Their owners are so wealthy that if you think they spend a lot of money, and they do, but they make more money than 100 times more money than they'll ever spend on that football club. They're never going to hit a day where the only time they will ever not run Man City is if they get bored of it. They're never going to hit a point where it's, oh, that Jack Grealish transfer has left us a bit light in the wallet today. Like, what they pay for Jack Grealish is like me going to the shop and buying a cola bottle, penny sweet sort of thing. But that's not the case for all clubs. So it's how long are these super funded teams / countries, when they get bored and go, the football bubble will burst, because it won't be able to sustain itself. But if they don't go away, it will just grow more.
true.
Because
No, I hear you.
with
Yeah.
respect, Gary, football at the moment is literally at its peak. Like there are some sports where you will look at it and go, "Oh, it ain't as good as it was back in 1985," or things like. But no, this football now, by every metric, is the peak that it is currently can be at. I have time periods that I enjoy, and everyone will enjoy because they'll have emotional attachments to it. But no one's going to tell me that there's a team in 30 years ago that would actually beat Man City at football or Liverpool. Like, wouldn't happen because it's become such peak athleticism that
You know what? I have
sorry.
a comeback to that because I've watched some of the old games, and those games where like we talk now about the game being only played for about 58 minutes of live actual football, and I believe back in the days they probably played a lot more minutes of football. So like to say like the people have gotten stronger, you know, but they're not as uh, to some degree as athletic as the players back in the days because they played consistently. The flow of the game was no stop go. No, it was
Yes.
go go for almost 90 minutes of the game, right? Probably say it's not 90 minutes, say it's 70 minutes, but a lot more than what it is today. So I kind of feel like you take some of the way to so if the style of play and the rules and everything like that are 2022, then yes, City will play better. But the style of play is back in the 70s, right? When the way that some of those top teams played back then, and you're playing the same squads, just the time period and the rules and the way the game was played was the same. No, those guys would be you probably be asking for 5 subs at that point, right? I just can't keep my players on the pitch because the game is a lot tougher now, and these guys go for a lot longer, and games might be over sooner.
Well,
Because
half those teams would get sent off anyway.
well, no, but I mean, they would get sent off with the rules that we are today, but not
Yeah,
back in those
yeah.
days, right?
No,
They'd
of
be
course not.
the players would be carted off. The new players, like the City players
Hmm.
of today, might be carted off because they wouldn't be able to make it through a game. De Bruyne is going to get beat up in the middle of the pitch because they know if they can get in his head and if they can put him on the ground, guess what? They got this game because he's
Yep.
one of the linchpins to the way that this team's going to play. So I kind of feel like if you look at it strategically, that's why it works fine. And I think it'll be a cycle. Like you said, right now the game is pretty big. These teams are all spending, but Liverpool is showing you don't have to, and some team will come around. Like Leicester City has shown you don't have to. You just have to have a really good. You need to have all the pieces working together at the same time in the same season, and you can get it
Yeah.
done, right? Like I mean, like Arsenal.
Moneyball isn't a long-term thing that works though. Moneyball is very, if you can get it right, it will produce an amazing result tomorrow. But you can't maintain Moneyball for 10 years because the teams that do buy the best players will, over a longer period of time, they will just win.
Yeah.
And that's shown by the teams that historically have won the Premier League the most are the team that spent the most money over a 3 or 4 year period before leading up to or after their win. You get the outliers like Leicester, etc. But generally speaking, like Arsenal, when Arsenal won the league, you would have been one of the bigger spenders in England for over a 5 year period before and after it. You just would have. Like Leeds weren't going out and buying Dennis Bergkamp in 1995.
No.
I wouldn't have. The notion wouldn't have even occurred to us that we could do that. But I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But you keep in mind, football was at its peak in performance and as a business, in the sense that
Like right now. So
football's never got unpopular.
Yeah.
It will never decrease.
Yeah.
But
So
your country loves it.
yeah. No, think about it. When I say who's one of the top 3, say the top 5 players in football ever, what are their names to you?
Right, off the top of my head, and it's without thinking, right, I'm going to go with Pele, Maradona,
Okay.
um, Five's difficult.
Let's go with
But you know, it's going to be generally people are going to pick same five, like Pele, Maradona, Johan Cruyff. I'd probably put Bergkamp in there. Probably. I'd have to give it more thought to do a five, but you're generally going to find people of a certain
first
age
three names is
the
names that I don't hear as much as I think I should hear. Like they always talk about the Messis and the Ronaldos as being some of the top players of all the goats as they call them, right? And it's like, really? So and like they don't even mention Pele or Maradona, and you're like, huh? Like
I never mentioned Messi and Ronaldo because they're still playing. So to me, it's like the Hall of Fame type thing.
Yeah,
they're active players, so I wouldn't name them.
Yeah. Yeah, just 1 second here. You can keep talking if you want to talk to the
that's
people.
But they as a two are definitely going to be 1 and 2 eventually. Like I was brought up on Pele and Maradona are the best 2 players. Like it's like the 2 different eras, but you would pick one of them. But I don't know. I feel a bit silly now saying Dennis Bergkamp.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you said I was glad to hear the 2 names that you said because I always, I don't. Whenever somebody says the GOAT, I don't hear those names being used, and I'm like, why not? Why not? Why aren't they?
I feel a bit pretentious saying it though because it's not like I watched them. Like I weren't alive when they played, but I'm suppose I've just, what's the word? It's like symbiosis, or it's migrated into me that they are 1 and 2 outside of Ronaldo. And just as a kid, even children were like, Pele's the best, because he even had, like, the bicycle kick. When I was a child, if you did that, it was a Pele. That's what it was called. There's a wrestling move called the Pele kick, and that's the guy doing the bicycle kick.
Yeah.
It's just cold. He probably don't even know why it's called a Pele kick, but it is. And you find that things can just become accepted, and you don't even really think about why. Like I wouldn't think to really question that Pele was the greatest player of all time because it wasn't even worth the argument if you tried to say he wasn't.
Yeah. And the football talent and the toughness that the older players brought to the game, it's almost looked down upon sometimes now. Like they don't even bring that up. Like, all right, this guy is tough as nails. Like his team needs something, he gives it to them every time, as opposed to like, well, he had a lot of players around him, and that's the reason why it worked. That's why some people like go, well, let me see Messi go and play anywhere in the world and see if he can contribute just like Cristiano did, right? Ronaldo went other places and contributed, and they won trophies there as well. So part of it was him, part of it was the squad, but it didn't matter. He made the move and did that. So that's why, I kind of like, I'm happy to hear you say those names because I don't hear them sometimes. People always seem to bring up the Messis and the Ronaldos, and it's like, like for me, I just watching Zidane at the end of his days, and it's like that kind of a player you just don't see. Right. He's once again he's crazy, right? He does some silly stuff that he shouldn't do, puts his team in
I'll
really
say
bad,
I like to say something quite controversial about them. Like people are going to say, like, a common thing said about Messi and Ronaldo is like they scored loads of goals, but they scored against Getafe, and people were like, oh, but it's not their fault they were against Getafe. But then I sit there and think, yeah, but they were against Getafe a lot though, weren't they?
Yeah, and that means the numbers aren't they're skewed to some degree, right? Because they don't mean as much. It's like saying, you know what, this movie made the most. This was the highest grossing movie of all time when the price went up like 4 and 5 times what it used to be for a ticket to go to the movie. So not necessarily the highest gross, it's just the most money at this time because the money doesn't, you convert it to
the most money.
Yeah,
Doesn't sell. They can't tell you how many tickets were sold, but they can tell you what the combined total money taken was. Like, just random aside, off the top of my head, I actually think the biggest grossing movie, if you actually made every single ticket cost the same, is Gone with the Wind.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
that took an extortionate amount of money, even for 1939 type thing. But
Yeah.
then if you then added like, and probably the tickets were like 50 cents or something. But if you made them £20, anyway.
True. Yeah, and see, this is the part where, like, AFTV is gone from being a fan channel to being and that's why I think you see a lot of the names have changed on some of these things from AFTV to like DR, right? Because Don Robbie now, it's basically, you realize it doesn't make it's not AFTV anymore, but
No,
it
they're
is.
two separate things, aren't they?
But and I know they're two separate things, but they're all under the same umbrella, right? They're all under the same umbrella, and he should do that because that's what the TV stations are doing, and the TV stations would want to do that if they could. They just got in. They may have got in late, and they don't want to spend the money and time. But yeah,
He's obviously
yeah,
a very clever man,
yeah,
because he's managed to beat a lot of people to a lot of these ideas.
yeah,
But he's also, because he got the first idea, AFTV, he's now in a position to try these other things. Like like I could have done what he done with a grandstand. You were not grandstanded. It was like the rolling scores on a Saturday, and I could try that, but I'd get 4 people watch it.
sure,
But because he's already got a channel with whatever millions of followers, he can turn around and go, you know what, I'm going to try this thing, and if it don't work, it don't work. But if it does, which it probably will, because
yeah,
I can then turn around on AFTV and go, I've got a new channel. Bam, subscribe.
yeah.
Done.
Yeah, or they just bring you on, right? There is, as an Arsenal channel, they bring somebody on from another channel, and they bring them on regularly, and say you can hear more from this person on this channel, and it's just like, oh, because I'm listening to Arsenal versus Chelsea discussion, and then I'm gonna go watch this guy on the Chelsea channel because you know what,
Yep.
I like what he brings to the table, and I've seen him along with like tens of thousands of people. So there you go. So yeah, no, I I don't watch AFTV much anymore because it definitely got me into YouTube, and I think that's for a lot of people, that's kind of where they can't remember too often the first videos that they saw, where they knew probably more than likely it was AFTV, especially if they were an Arsenal fan, because it was like you said, the first to do that. You get fans talking about how they reacted right after the game, right outside the stadium. You want to see that kind of raw emotion from your players, and and that's where you get like I said, you get the opposite ends of the spectrum. Like right after a game, you just watched it, you come out the stadium, you chat for a couple minutes, people know how the fans feel, and that's like they feel the same way, and you like to see that, as opposed when you go back into the studio now. You're not like, not that you're scripted, but you have they give you some the way they want it to go, and you know that it's a character. That's what I don't want to be. I'm hoping I never come across as somebody who looks like a character on the screen, and you know what you're going to get each time. Some days I'm going to be happy, and sometimes as a as a
Hmm.
as a oh my gosh, why am I'm like, my mind just went blank there. As some will say, and call me salty and stuff like that. So and I think that's just the way we are. We want to go around. We're going to go around the spectrum, and you're going to see all the good and the bad, which is what you want to see. That's how this game is. It's not all no game. Not one team's ever gone and come out of the stadium the same with the same feel and thinking about what they just saw. They're not 38 games. You're going to see 38 different things that you were happy, impressed with, or sad about. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, like I said, I think he did a good job, and he got a lot of us out here. I wouldn't be out here if I hadn't
Yeah.
watched that, and and then you realize there's others out there, right?
Yeah.
Other things out there besides AFTV, and if you don't like it, that's fine. That's why you can choose. you know, a lot of people go after them, and it's like, but you can choose not to watch them. You
Yep.
know, and then
That's right.
every once in a while you listen to them, and then either realize what you missed, or you realize why you don't watch them as much. So your choice. They've got a following, and that's cool. So Yeah, just like we have here. Yeah, it's 2 hours now. I know you've been on probably a lot longer than our regular show, or at least probably been an hour at least. But I think we're
Well, I
gonna.
did tell the kids I'd be 20 minutes.
All right,
So,
so yeah, it's good for me. I got a message from the boss saying there's a sandwich here, but it's getting cold. So it's probably cold now. But
but yeah, thank you for having me on.
Tommy, yeah,
Thank
Tommy, you have
you
anything
for
you want to
the
say? Yeah.
thank you for the Arsenal fans that make me feel welcome on your channel and in the YouTube community in general. So very kind and gracious of you all. And I still hope that my team beats yours twice.
Yeah, and we hope the same for our team that you're crying at the end of the game. That's all. That's what we all, and that's what we want.
And I would cry. I would actually cry.
But
I
thank you
was
guys for
crying.
coming on.
I,
Like I said, this was not planned, and it worked out a lot better than I thought. Hopefully, when I plan it, I can see even more. But like I said, this is the middle of the day, so it's easier for a lot of you guys to come on, and hopefully we'll do this again. We'll do this regularly. I definitely will do it regularly. I don't know. I have somebody asked me if I wanted to do it on their channel, and I'm thinking just because I don't have to deal with a lot of stuff, so I might do that. But I might just do it on mine because it won't be it'll I'll be able to control when I want to put it on. So I don't want to say I'll do it on somebody's channel and then I can't do it every week, and then I kind of feel like I'm letting them down. So that's my thing. I kind of want to feel like I'll do it. So we will be on tomorrow. Mr. Tom will be on. We are gonna have who else is gonna be on with us tomorrow? I think Sam will be on and Tony will be on, and I don't know if anybody else might join us, but we'll see. Stan might join us tomorrow as well. We'll chat about. Hopefully, we have a lot of news. I rambled a lot today, so hopefully you don't hear the same thing tomorrow. But we have
I wasn't
24 hours.
listening through most of it anyway. So
There you go. So maybe tomorrow
yeah.
you might hear something new. Or you might hear the same thing, and it'll be new to you because you missed it today. But we'll do this thing again, and as I like to say, as we head out of here, life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. All right. We'll see you on the other side. See you tomorrow.